Ladies and gentlemen, this YouTube channel vlog show is of authenticity, inspiration, and realness. It is also about personality, good times, and fun. This is Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. And now, here is your host of the show, Mr. Big Beefy E himself, the elder statesman of Rant and Rave, and Mr. Shenanigans himself, Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, December 9th, 2023, 11:58 p.m. I decided to do a little bit late. I'm trying to give myself some time to relax and get going here. AEW Collision, we're going to talk about what happened there. And we're starting off with with the Continental Classic in the Blue League. Eddie Kingston versus Claudio Castagnoli. Now, I have said this, Eddie Kingston needs to get on the board, or else there's a pretty good chance he'll be losing those two titles that he's been defending in the tournament, the Ring of Honor World title and the NJPW Strong Championship. And this rivalry between him and Claudio Castagnoli started when he was challenging for the Ring of Honor World title. And guess what? Kingston won the match. So Kingston won the matchup. Meanwhile, Jon Moxley cut a promo on Swerve Strickland. He's facing him this coming Wednesday on AEW Dynamite. And both men are trying to vie for a position for the top spot in the Gold League of the Continental Classic. Renee Paquette interviews Hook, but then Wheeler Yuta, looks like the Buffalo Combat Club, this is the Collision is their show, as Wheeler Yuta, the new Ring of Honor Pure Champion, comes up and interrupts Hook and basically is disrespecting Hook. So it'll be very interesting to see what goes on in that situation. Willow Nightingale went one-on-one with Mercedes Martinez. And during the matchup, Diamante gets involved in the matchup. The referee has caught them. A disqualification victory for Willow Nightingale. But then, as they were about to attack her with a lead pipe, Chris Statlander evened the score by coming to Willow Nightingale's aid with a chain. So the former TBS champ they'll have to deal with her. Renee Paquette interviewed Cool Hand Angelo Parker and Daddy Magic Matt Menard, but they were interrupted by the Outcast, and looks like Anna Jay may end up replacing Timeless Tony Storm as a member of the Outcast. I really don't know. She's aligned herself with Saraya and Ruby Soho, but Ruby Soho was catching Angelo Parker's eye once again, and she was wearing his shirt. And it seems like Saraya is not very happy with this situation. So there's that. And then Swerve Strickland kind of responded to Jon Moxley's promo. Like I said, they're facing each other this Wednesday on Dynamite. So there's that. But also Willie Mack went one-on-one with Wardlow with the Big E special, Big Meaty Men Slapping Meat. And Wardlow is impressive. The dude could pick up somebody as big as Willie Mack and beat him still, knocking him out with the Powerbomb Symphony. And Wardlow just walked out of the ring, and before the referee saying it's over. And I was like, oh boy. So Wardlow has been impressive. Then the House of Black got a promo on FTR. This is a collision course between the former Trios champions and the former AEW World Tag Team Champions. So, question is, which of the three members of the House of Black will FTR face? That is the beauty of having a three-man team, because you never know which two of the three members. It looks like the Freebird and Demolition method of not knowing who you're going to face in the first round. Then, a Battle of Canada. Ethan Page goes one-on-one with Kenny Omega. As you know, Omega is one half of the Golden Jets with Chris Jericho, where both of them have a tag team title shot by their virtue of their victory over the Young Bucks. So, and who were the number one contenders, and by the stipulation, if the Golden Jets won the match, that they would take the number one contender ranking. This was a heck of a match between Ethan Page and Kenny Omega until Omega did win the matchup, but then The two shook hands and hugged each other with respect. As Kenny Omega was walking up the ramp, Big Bill came on and attacked. When one half of the tag team champions with Ricky Starks came out and hit Omega with a boot, and Ethan Page, who was hurting, tried to go up there and try to stop him and check on him. So, and he's a little bit upset. So, but then Alexina interviewed C.J. Perry, and her husband Miro interrupted her. Basically, I think Miro is, I don't know, I think C.J. Perry should be managing Miro all along. And Miro thinks that, I think there's a little tension between them, and I think there's continuing the storyline from the WWE where, C.J. Perry, when she's little Lana, and Miro, who was known as Rusev, kind of like, had a little falling out. So there's that. But then, and Julia Hart, House of Black is also all over this card today. Cut a promo on Abaddon, and I don't know if she's trying to get inside Abaddon's head or what. She may be beautiful, but she's very spooky with the mind games. So, in Abaddon, better watch her back. We don't know what Julia Hart has planned, for sure. Then you got a tag team matchup, Commander and Penta El Zero Miedo going up against Matt Menard and Angelo Parker, a.k.a. Daddy Magic and Cool Hand, a.k.a. 2.0. And Penta Commander did win the matchup with Parker eating up the pin. I got a hunch that the rift between them is probably over over Angelo Parker's Google eyes for Ruby Soho. And then Nigel McGuinness had a sit-down interview with both Keith Lee and Shane Taylor. It looks like Ring of Honor Final Battles where these two are going to be colliding. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens between those two gentlemen. Strickland decided to respond to Moxley, saying, "We'll see you." We'll see you. Once again, responds to Moxley, "I'll see you Wednesday." Then the main event, the Continental Classic, between Bryan Danielson and Andrade El Idolo. And they say there was an injury that he suffered in that matchup. But Andrade El Idolo, I think he has 3 points, but then he scored 3 more by beating Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson had the eye patch ripped off him. Hopefully he'll be all right. Don't know if it's a re-aggravation of the injury or the orbital bone or what. And after the match was over, the medical team checked up on Bryan Danielson. Andrade El Idolo went to go shake his hand. Wheeler Yuta, Jon Moxley, and Claudio Castagnoli were checking up on Bryan Danielson. But then there was a shoving match between Claudio and Andrade. That is a crazy, crazy deal, man. So Claudio Castagnoli, I'll tell you one thing about Claudio. Ever since he signed on with AEW and joined up with the Blackpool Combat Club, he's been more aggressive than usual. And I got a hunch that Claudio could end up winning this thing if he keeps up his killer instinct and ramping up the attitude that he has, man. Because I'll tell you one thing, he don't play around. So there's that. So, that's all the time we have on the show, man. Episode 1063, I do believe. Let me check this thing. Yeah, 1063 of Eric Lima Shenanigans in 1977. Up next, episode 1064, NXT Deadline. And I'll tell you what, NXT Deadline was a pretty good show. I'll explain all that and more. I know we have a big storm coming up, like tomorrow night into Monday morning. I don't know if we're going to lose power, but if we do, they may or may not be an episode of a show. I may have to do one earlier just in case and possibly upload it later on. Upload it afterwards, but I pray that, the Lord protects us, protects our house and everything else. And everything's in God's hands. We have a big wind and rainstorm, so we haven't had much rain, but the only crazier part is it's going to get warm. It's supposed to be hitting 60 degrees on Monday, but it's not the first time. However, it hit 60 degrees in December. But the last time it hit 60 degrees in December, it rained too. And that was on Christmas Day, actually. So we'll see what happens, right? So I'll see you guys later. I'll check you out in the next episode. Until that next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home.
This concludes today's episode. This is Mr. Lima speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A big beefy E, do it for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with A Raven Bova Telepictures and Distribution. See you next time on another episode of the show. Goodbye for now.